That's right back, Charlie. Definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. People deluded. Make sure you get your Trapaholic keys, man. www.trapaholic.co.uk. Come on, man. Make sure you get it. Don't miss out. Come on. Day up. Look, it's all matching and shit. I've seen come with a black and gold. Like, come on. Arsenal.
Because you always use that active when defenders, I think, it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man.
Come on, Ian, man. People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. First things first, happy Independence Day to my JA Tugs and Galleys out there. Obviously, morning gooners, 3 points collectors. We kicked off the Premier League in style. Obviously, it's not always going to be like that, you know. Obviously, I wish we could end the season now. We're top of the league. It'd be all right. So, yeah, I wish we could, but we can't. It's lovely to start the Premier League campaign with a victory. It was far from perfect. There was a lot of positives. Like, I look at that game. Smash the like button, people. I look at that game, obviously, first 20 minutes. And when you look pre-game, Arteta made a big song and dance about how he wasn't good enough in the first half an hour. So I think we had a blistering start. I think you have to be able to suffer, especially at grounds like Crystal Palace, like Arteta said. On another day, probably, I'd say for the best part of an hour of that game, I'd say we were doing this thing for 20, 25 minutes. They were the better team for the end of the first half, and obviously the whole of the second half, we was at their mercy. But end of the day, we got 3 points, kept Zaha and Cole quiet, clean sheet, something to build upon. You've got to be able to do that. There's been times we've played much better than that last season, home and away, and not got nothing to show. So there is some negatives, there is some positives. Again, we're not going to be the finished article. As you saw at the beginning, people, make sure you're getting your Trapaholics goodies, people. Make sure you're using the discount code. It's in the pinned message and things like that. So yeah, man. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I can't lie. It's as much as I like the hat, and it's a good hat, and I need to brush my hair now. I can't lie. It's too hot for all of them tig there, man, obviously. So, yeah, big up you. I hope you're doing well and safe. Obviously, it is what it is. Come on, James. I don't know why. Okay, we're going to have one of them days where I can't bring up your comments and that. There you have it. You see, Arteta doesn't trust the substitutes. I'm not too sure about that. I somewhat agree with you, but just because he didn't make the subs when we wanted him to doesn't mean that's the case, if I'm completely honest with you. Obviously, when he brought on Eddie Nketiah, he brought him on to expert effect because it was literally an instant impact. I'm sure he won a foul just before that. Obviously, he had a hand in the goal. I'm giving it Saka, striker's finish, and all. It probably is an own goal that gave us a cushion. Not going to sit here and cap. I did think if we don't get that second goal, is peak, and it was nervous. It was nerve-wracking. As I said, you have to be able to suffer against the 12th man that is Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are a very good side. If they had their shooting boots, football's a game of fine margins. If they had their shooting boots, it might have been a different case. Ramsdale had a couple few gazy moments, made a couple of good saves. I'm sure Eze has woken up today and he's wondering, how didn't I score? Martinelli should have scored at the start of the game. Goals always change games. So, we managed the pressure well. There are, defensively, Saliba's the boss. I think, Zinchenko had a good game going forward. There was a couple of, I hate to say I told you so. I'm here with him as a left back. I'm not here to criticize him, but yeah, he's not a defender by trade. So sometimes he doesn't stop the cross. He's jumping. He's not goal side. He's the wrong side. Couple of good interceptions, but him, Gabriel, and Ramsdale all good yesterday. Had a couple brain farts. Saliba was the one where I literally think 10 out of 10 performance. I couldn't have asked anything more from Saliba, composed, read the game very well, passed when he needed to pass, just did the basics. And obviously Van Dijk's following him on Instagram. Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher waxing lyrical about him. 21 years of age, you know, he's got the potential to be whatever. There's going to be good and bad moments. Let's cool down, but he's taking his chances and he's continuing what he started in pre-season. Ben White, good game. He kept Zaha quiet. Of course, there was moments where Zaha got past you, but I feel if anything, you know, Ben White passing and stuff at times, you know, Ben White has them little brain farts and things. He had a bit of them, but he did well. You know, everyone was saying it's going to be peak for him against Zaha. He kept him quiet, you know. And I know you all saw me on social media, on Twitter, running banks. You know, Zaha the day before said, "We'll see you tomorrow," which was yesterday. I had to at him and say, "Where were you, man? Never saw you." You know, he kept him quiet. Shout out to Saliba, because as much as I think Ben White did well, I think Saliba covered well. I actually think Bukayo Saka did well defensively as well. I do think that game did highlight. We do maybe need a winger, you know, because Saka looked a bit tired. I do think I think Xhaka and Partey were good, but I think we need a midfielder there that, especially in games like that, is, I always say Kovacic because I like him a lot, but he could get the ball, dribble, buy you a couple of yards, win some fouls when we're under the cosh. We did have to ride our luck at times, and that's the Premier League, really and truly. That's the beast that we all know and love. So in terms of things I think we can work on, I think the game was probably too open more than it needed. I feel the first 20 minutes we should have smelt blood, and we did score, you know, but it was via a set piece. Big up Set Piece FC. We could have probably smelt blood and gone for the kill. That's not going to change overnight. That's something that was there last season. That's something that was there against Everton in pre-season. So I do think we could have put the game to bed in the first 20-25. I don't feel we worked Guita enough. I think the pressing was good. The intensity was good. You know, obviously we got a bit tired and we're not fully fit, but I think as a team, we need to learn how to react to that when we're tired and how to play accordingly. And things like that. Right, 8 likes. You lot are boying me. Bloody hell. It is what it is though. But yeah, I think we did well. I think man management, game management, there was an improvement, but there can be still some improvements. We still need to get rid of them little brain farts, you know, playing stray passes, unnecessarily putting pressure on ourselves, and sometimes that could harm us. As I said, Palace had enough chances to win that game, in my humble opinion. Ramsdale, a couple good saves, Saliba, a number of important blocks. We should have taken advantage. Shouts to Zinchenko for getting his goal. I think Gabriel Jesus worked very well. He didn't score, but he shows, you know, the pace, you know, deceivingly, not the biggest of man, but very strong. Lot to like about Gabriel Jesus, lot to like about what Zinchenko brings on the left-hand side. Obviously, Ben White and Saliba took their chances and showed that Arteta's got some options there. I think Saka was really good defensively. So yeah, man, we managed the game well, and obviously we got Smith Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Tomiyasu, all of these guys to come back. But I still think we need a right winger and a press-resistant number 8. I did think I don't think Odegaard was as bad as some people making out, but I think he's trying to be a bit too precise sometimes. I think Ozil likes to shoot more than you, and I think that says everything. I think that's the only thing I demand of Odegaard. Just sometimes just pull the trigger. Like, I can't remember who passed him the ball, but he took a lovely touch. It felt like 2 touch and goal. Like, he took the first touch in his stride expertly, tried to be too cute, too clever. And that's where we need to see him get better, man. You know, I think the timing of Eddie and Nketiah coming on, well, we saw our players getting tired, and Arteta showed why he's the gaffer. I think we was all screaming, yo, 3 at the back, Holding, El Nene, Kieran Tierney. I hate to say it, but you lot were getting too excited with this Tierney's done out here. When games like that, you need a Tierney. Sometimes you can get away with Zinchenko. I think what we're seeing develop is there's different options. I don't think Arsenal fans truly comprehend that. Just look at Liverpool and City and the many different options, more so City. You know, and when you've got decent players, do you think we need to keep our high standards when tired? I still think the bench is a bit meaty, if I'm honest with you. Shout out Lokonga getting minutes off the bench. Obviously, it was lovely to see Set Piece FC raise supreme. I can't ask for anything more. I am looking forward to see Fabio Vieira, and I'm looking to see Smith Rowe back, you know, really. He's terrified of shooting on his right. Why is it acting? Why is it not bringing your stuff up? Bit harsh. Partey looked a bit quiet. Obviously, there was things going away. That's a bit harsh. I think Partey was playing 1-2 decent passes. You got to give credit to Anderson of Crystal Palace. You know, he's trying to hit that ball into the channel each and every time to Zaha. And I think we pressed well. We forced them in mistakes. We kept them penned in the first half. But we need to take that 20 minutes. And it's easier said than done. But see that along the whole 90. You know, I'm not going to say we was poor across 90 minutes. I don't think we was. I just feel, you know, we was probably, you know, we was taking what, you know, if it was a boxing match, we came out, you know, we're throwing good jabs. we landed a good bang, and then we're just doing some defensive thing. And there was a couple of punches that if they landed, Edouard had a couple, Ramsdale made a couple saves, it could have changed. Goals change games at any moments, and football's a game of fine margins. And fortunately for us, it went our way. We earned the right to play. We started off the season in a great way. For me, I want to take a handsome return of points this month in August. It's good that let's take the negatives and the positives and build on it for Leicester. I don't want to lose to Leicester. Their team looks like a shambles at this moment in time. Hopefully Telemans forgets what team he's playing for if he's playing. So we need to build on that. As you know, September, October is fugazi for us. It's nice to see Saliba, a long time coming. Lovely to see him make his debut, and it was worth the wait, innit? We need to be easy, but yeah, man, it is what it is. Well, so you lot say, keep your opinions coming and those things, people. 40 likes. Can we keep moving? 5 points, 5 games, 15 points. Let's go. I mean, Ramsdale scares his dad, man. Like, there was one pass, Ramsdale. It was like it didn't leave the ground. I was thinking, yo. And then it's like Ramsdale started moving Buki. So Gabriel started moving Buki. Zinchenko was doing some Buki stuff at times, but Saliba was on job. I mean, Saliba's temperament, I think that's the first welcome to the Premier League for Saliba now. He came out of it resolute, can't sing his praises, On another day, it could have been Fugazi, Him and Ben White did well. Zaha on another day runs in ragged, drags the centre-back out wide, but the temperament. From I see that, I know that you're going to have good and bad games, but you can do it, you can do a thing, we can deal with you away from home. That's what I want to see. That was the first welcome to the Premier League, because as good as he was in pre-season, this is the Prem. This is 3 points. This is fighting and all of those sort of things, man. And he came out of it. He came out of it very good. He speaks with a lot of maturity. He behaves with a lot of maturity. For me, he knows when to try certain passes. He knows when to bring it out from the back. And even Ben White, I don't think the timing of when Ben White does those things is spot on, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like, the only thing I'm truly annoyed about Ben White, he did very well defensively in the second half, and then he's like, if the corner flag's there, Ramsdale's there. He's tried some Buki outside the foot pass, not looking, and it could have thingy, man. I still think Gabriel's our best centre back, but he does have that bozo gene. But bro, we got good conversations. It can be Saliba. Let's let Saliba keep going though, because he's 21. It's not gonna be fairy tale. Every game you play, you're not gonna get ripped. So let's keep going, man. But this is why the man went out on loan. No clue why the screen isn't sharing. Oh, here we go. But you look at Saliba's Premier League debut for Arsenal, 100% take-ons completed, won 100% of his aerial duels, 94% pass accuracy. He played 49 passes in total, recovered the ball 7 times, 6 passes into the final third. And that was a bit of what you've seen from him in the French league. He did want to get forward at times, but there was discipline there. He knew that, okay, I like to play football, and he's very good on the ball, but he realized the dynamics, really. I think he really read the game well, man, really. And you want to see Gabriel and Saliba keep developing. We're by no means perfect, but who is going to be perfect? I guarantee you, regardless of the result in the Arsenal Palace game and everyone that plays later on Saturday and Sunday, whether the team wins, lose or draws, there's not going to be a single manager that thinks his team are fully where he wants them to be. And I'm sure the players would say the same. 6 clearances, 3 the clearances, bro, just in the right place at the right time. It was dribbled past none, conceded no goals, 0 fouls, and he keeps his pre-season clean sheet record going, people. So yeah, don't know what that is. Ben White, I don't know what, Ben White had a very good game. He never got cooked, he did well. Gareth Southgate was there, and he got to run the rule over a couple of England boys in both teams. I think he's unlucky that he's conceded an own goal because of Saka, but he put a good account of himself. I think all the Arsenal boys did well. Saka defensively, Ben White did well. Ramsdale redeemed yourself with the saves and that. Did all right still. Ben White made 8 tackles against Crystal Palace. It's the most tackles an Arsenal players made in a Premier League match in over 3 years, since Torreira made 19 against Chelsea. And I can't lie, that shows you we got to be a lot more tenacious, people. That ain't really good enough still. But shout out Benjamin White for that one. Obviously, more Saliba propaganda. He won man of the match. Again, I've listed them same statements, but you got to keep looking at it, man. It's Saliba, obviously, picking up form, carrying on where he left off. And I mean, he could have hit his potential not going on loan. He might not have, Again, I told you, look, this is why you can't mock the club for letting the man go out on loan. I understand it when you're seeing Mustafi and Socrates and all these joke men playing. You'd rather him play and learn harsh lessons, but he's building on the experience. Like I said, he's 21. It's not going to be fairy tale settings all the time, but today it is, innit? Or yesterday it is, innit? We'll take that, man. Let's see what other statistics are there. Arsenal scored 14 goals from corners since the start of last season. Only Liverpool and City have netted more. Big up our coaching staff, Nicholas Jova, I can't say his name, but shout out you, shout out Carlos Cueva, shout out Steve Round, shout out all the coaching staff, man. Arsenal have ended a run of 10 games without a clean sheet. See, hopefully we start getting that, because although we finished 5th for clean sheets, we're an improved defensive side. We're not a good defensive side. That is unacceptable, really and truly. So there's something to build upon, but we need to keep building. Same way we love the set pieces, and I even forgot. I think first off we was transitioning from defense to attack very well. We need to want that clean sheet, but I think we suffered more than we needed, but we suffered well. We obviously got the goals. The second relieved the pressure. The first set us on. We did ride our luck at times. There was some nervy moments, but generally everyone did all right. I don't think anyone's below a 6 yesterday, and that gives me positives, because you should be aspiring to build upon that, really. So yeah, it is what it is, man. The referee was a bit brazy with some of the decisions he was given. I'm not gonna lie. AU getting away with bookings. It was fitting that Xhaka got the first yellow card. But it is what it is. Lovely to see Gabby Martinelli make up first things first for that first chance he missed. He should have scored, and you've done that against Southampton. You've done that against City. I'm cherry picking, but that's how you get to the next level. He made up for himself. He made up for it. I think Martinelli had a good game, and he's off for the campaign. I hope the Premier League credit Saka as well. I need every goal I can get, man. I remember Smith Rowe getting a Bandulu one against Villa that should have been a known goal. So yeah, man, lovely to see. If I didn't make clear, Zinchenko as well. Hey, Arsenal ended a run of 9 hours and 52 minutes of Crystal Palace not conceding at Selhurst Park. So yeah, we did a thing against them. 21% of our Premier League goals came from corners. That's the highest portion of any team in the top flight. And we're picking up where we left off there slightly. So yeah, man. Not for context, only Leicester and Leeds have scored a lower portion of their Premier League goals from headers than Arsenal this season. But the season just kicked off. I don't know what that means. 3 of Arsenal's last 4 goals against Crystal Palace in the Premier League have been netted in the 90th minute or later. Crazy. So there's something to build upon. Jesus has scored in 2 of his last 3 visits to Selhurst Park. Wasn't quite lucky to get that done. But yeah, Saliba starting means Arsenal have had a French player play for them in 26 consecutive Premier League campaigns. 95-96 is the last time there was no French players in the squad. So that was my, I'm born in 95. Obviously, I think we've got the highest scoring team of Brazilians in the Premier League as well. So it's all lit, people. And it's nice to start with a win, because Arsenal have started with a win in only 4 of their last 12 Premier League seasons. So, these are a bit unacceptable if you're honest with ourselves. Zinchenko, there's a lot to build upon. I did think you looked very knackered. I did think you were in the trenches. They were popping the ball over your head. I do think that, playing left back for Arsenal with City, as it is 2 different ones. I don't think he's perfect at fullback. I think there's, just because he has some shaky things, everybody in the squad should complement each other. Some of his strengths might be Tierney's weaknesses and vice versa. Tierney made us a lot more comfortable when he played. Games in the trenches, I'm not going to lie, shout Zinchenko. I prefer Tierney when it's more of a defending thing. Going forward, it's Zinchenko, because I did think at times, especially when Xhaka looked gassed out on a yellow, Zinchenko was slow to get back. I don't think he stopped the cross well enough. I think his body positioning wasn't the best at times, but he's not a left back by trade. The man's a centre mid who's done a job there and done quite well. Think there's stuff to build upon. Think they were trying to pop it over your head. Think he did all right, man. 82 minutes, 72 touches, 40 passes, 2 key passes. He grabbed an assist, obviously, from the set piece. He headed it back across. Won 10 of his duels. Well, 10 ground duels, won 50% with 5. Had a shot, 1 clearance and 5 tackles. And there was a couple of good times he intercepted it well. I did think in terms of the build-up play, you did your thing. So, yeah, it is what it is in that regard. Big up to you lot tuned in, people. Just before we look at... Oh, gosh. Don't know why the calendar's opening. But just before we crack on with any of that, people, any of the fake transfer news that there is, I thought I'd see what you lot are saying, people. Big up you lot tuned in. Make sure you're smashing that like button for me, please, fake people. Arteta subs too late. Hey, come on, StreamYard, man. What's going on? Big up my guy Cam. Arteta subs too late with the subs. We're losing our energy by the 65th minute. I mean, they have to be. I hear you. I agree with you. I was there like, yo, El Nene. We got Jesus on the pitch. We need Mohamed now. Holding, is it a back 3 thing? Tierney. We got 5 subs. Do you bring a next man on? But Arteta showed why he's the gaffer, if I'm honest. We know he's got issues with subs. But he brought on the subs at the right time. Tierney made us a lot more comfortable. Definitely Eddie Nketiah and Saka linking up for the second goal and putting a bit more daylight between the two sides. Definitely off the basis of that first half did the same. But we were gassed out. We're going to be gassed out, you know. Again, it's pre-season. Well, pre-season's just went. We've played a couple of games. The team's not fully fit. You know, in other games away from home, you don't really want to take off Jesus. But man looked tired, really. But they have to suffer. And, you know, a lot of them got 60, 70, 80 minutes. Hopefully that takes us back to being full fit. But it is something. But in that game, for all the nerves, I think he did well. I think he brought them on at the right time, especially where Tierney and Eddie are concerned, really. So I do think it's something to concern. I did think El Nene was the one I was looking at. I was like, listen, we're losing the midfield battle and we're starting to get tired. Xhaka's on the yellow, you know, Xhaka on the yellow are tired. Zinchenko, you fancy it down that side, but we did our thing, man. But it is something to improve upon. Love Odegaard, but I thought he was 5/4. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh, very harsh. I don't think anyone in the team was that. I can't lie to you. Thoughts on Odegaard's performance? Think he pressed well. Think he linked up well. Think he started some counter attacks well. You know, think he linked up with Jesus a lot. You know, think he should have scored. Think he put himself around, but it's another away game where it's not the Odegaard show. Obviously, he needs to shoot. You know, wasn't the best on the pitch, really and truly. But I don't think anyone was dead. How many points did you get in FPL? Like 13, 14? Meaty. We soaked up the pressure, made the subs, and grabbed the second. The subs came at the right time, man. You know, it come at the right time. I can't say anything else, man. Zinchenko did well when he was coming off. It looked like he weren't too happy with himself. Good win, but things we need to improve on. And that's, you know, we weren't amazing. I know Arsenal fans do it. You know, you're seen as negative if you talk about 1-2 things that could have been better. It's only when if we had that game and we lost that people would want to look at it. There's positives to take. There's a lot of, I don't want to say negatives, let's say improvements that we need to make. And I love that from Zinchenko. Don't get too excited when you win. Don't get too down when you lose. You know, we need them to bring that mentality. And to a degree, we have to be able to, I'm not going to gas it up, but I agree with what a lot of you lot are saying. You know, on another day, I don't want to say we're lucky, but we're quote unquote lucky. There are many things that we did well, but could have been better. But we always sit here and say Arsenal can't soak up the pressure. It's about grinding out results. It's about how good you are at quote unquote your worst. Now, was that an amazing Arsenal performance? No. Can we go up several gears across the whole team? Of course. But we walked away with 3 points at a ground that we crumble at 9 times out of 10. And for whatever reason, we didn't. 3 points on the board. Let's work on the improvement points. Let's take the negatives. Let's get that much, you know, let's keep working on what we've set our goals for August off the back of whatever the pre-season goals were. And let's just focus on Leicester and try and give ourselves the best platform. Like for me, there's obviously more than 3 games in August, but just last season, you know, we all know what went wrong at Crystal Palace home and away. You know, game management. It's nice to see we took the lead and saw it through. It's nice to see that we turned up away from home, started the game well and got the 3 points. You look at the first 3 games in particular last season, clearly different fixtures, but 0 points from 9. In my head, if I'm an Arsenal player, let's go and get 9 points from 9. Whoever we're playing, we go to Leicester, who you know, football's a funny old game, but they're looking a bit shaky on and off the field. Well, in pre-season, they're looking shaky, in my opinion, regardless of what the results are saying. So we're going to have to just maneuver with that one there, man. So, yeah, man, it is what it is, man. We walk away. There's many things to improve upon. We go again. Simple as that. And we focus on Leicester, Portsmouth. Man said Portsmouth. Bournemouth. I think we got Bournemouth. Then we got Fulham. Leicester's there. We've obviously just played. There's definitely one more game. I might be wrong. The pink shirt's lit, bro. Our bench will look better once Vieira, Tommy and Smith are fit. Just need another centre mid on there. Arsenal showed these men from South London levels. We lost the midfield battle in the second half. I'd say even the last 20 minutes of the first half. So, yeah, love for that Aston Villa. So, yeah, we got Villa as well. Yeah, we got Leno and Martinez back-to-back. We need to work. That's the one for me. Because Guita looked shaky. When we're pressing the hell out of them in the first half, only Yachin Anderson looked like they were on this thing, really. Yachin Anderson, you know, he was in the trenches. That pass to Zaha was always on. You know, Mitchell's decent, but he looked scared. Klein was in the trenches, you know, and should have got booked a lot quicker than he did. Guita's giving the ball away. We didn't let them out of their half for large parts of that first 20 minutes. And for me, that's when you smell blood. That's when you should be hungry. That's when it should be. If you go to a rave, certain raves, and you got a rollie on and you can feel the hyenas pre in the watch and certain man might get finesse for that. That's how we need to move, really and truly. You know, put the game to bed. because then they're gonna have to fling forward. Really, you saw it. As soon as Vieira got out of his seat, Zaha started shouting, and the crowd started going. They offered a bit better, but we started well. Sometimes that's been an issue of us starting and ending halves well. So there's a lot to build upon, but we can't get too excited because nothing's been achieved, man. Anderson said, "I come on, StreamYard, man. Why are you not bringing my comments up on time? Sorry, bro." Anderson said after the game they wanted to press, tackle, and annoy Arsenal because Arsenal don't like that open book. You're right. Still, that is it. They probably tried to do the same to the technical players at Liverpool and City as well. That is it. You kick play. Obviously, if you let a high footballing team play football, they're gonna put you in trouble. How many times have you lot played Sunday League and you play a team where there's soft youths but they're good? You kick the hell out of them. You start saying stuff. Watch after the game. The things in the bag. Start scaring them, calling their bluff. Man, start crumbling. As a fullback, your job's done. If you don't want to take me on because you're scared of whatever, then I can be wavy. Of course they're gonna do that. They're gonna kick us from pillar to post. They're gonna, and especially when you're kicking up people like you saw with AU, Decore had a couple that gets the crowd going. That might make man crumble, but I did like that we kept going, man. There was a couple of dodgy. I think Saka got clamped. Thingy felt one as well. Martinelli therefore got taken out. I did think the ref was giving fouls for us and against us that he shouldn't have. Palace the same. I did think the ref. I know we always look at the ref in the Prem and we give them a hard rep, but crazy, man. Listen, we saw things flying, the plane flying across, all those things. Listen, I don't know for none of that, man. Man's focusing on the football, bro. I don't know, man. Yuri is very, very press resistant, just like Ben White is also very press resistant more than Tomiyasu. I'm not too sure if that is thing. So I like Ben White right back more than Tommy at the moment. He's played against Zaha, Sterling, and was good. I mean, Tomiyasu's been good as well, man. Tomiyasu, listen, we need options, man. Let's not draw any conclusions. Clap it up for Saliba. Why? Nothing I love more than a defender who can do the fundamentals well and have composure whilst doing it. Rochelle, tell him again, you've articulated that perfectly. It's a bit like Tomiyasu. It's just refreshing to see the basics being done. I love Saka and Martinelli, but they've got to develop the killer gene. They get into amazing positions, but they're not clinical enough. We need that Rafinha replacement. I hear that. Saka, for me, sometimes the touch he's taking himself outside could have been a lot better there, but we're cooling, man. We know the young G's are savages. We know we know what they're on. What, Brazilian's top goal scorer right now for Arsenal Football Club? I'm here for it. Agendasville. I'm here for all of this, people. 81 likes. You lot are violating. But anyways, let's move on. What else you lot saying? I'm loving the talking points, man. I agree with you, DG. We need a press-resistant 8, especially in games like this where we're under pressure. Do you think Yuri could provide that? To a degree, I wouldn't say he's necessarily what I picture as a press-resistant midfielder. He's more of a cultured midfielder. He is good, and I guess by nature you could do that, really. Oh, dear me. And to be honest, the whole team quite comfortable on the ball. Probably too comfortable. Saliba's interceptions were on point. Waits for the player to push the ball past White, then cleans it up. Exactly, man. Shout out to our away fans. Shout out to the fans abroad and everyone, man. Let's calm down, man. Let's calm down. But I do like the Van Dijk comparisons with Saliba. Saliba's firmly a Rolls Royce of a footballer. But let's relax, man. Let's relax. Let's cool off, man. Ramsdale scared. Well, he scares his dad, bro. His dad needs to clip the back of his ears, man. You and Ben White. In a nice way, just a healthy slap in the back of the head, man. You lot sometimes, Gabriel as well, the brain farts, bro. The brain farts were scaring me. Tierney did prove me wrong, but still needs to offer more in attack, very one-dimensional. I mean, Tierney just basic left back, bro. Underhit, what's it? The underhit balls across the edge of the area, the whipped balls, bro. He's just a left back, bro. For all of that other dimensional stuff, Zinchenko's there, man. Obviously, you have to be able to develop your game and that, but you're not gonna get too much out of Tierney in that regard. He's just left back, man. And as the president of Tierney FC, boy, I told you, look, don't write off my bro. I don't want fans to make it tribal. I like Ben White at right back, so Tomiyasu's done out here. Smith Rowe this because of Martinelli and all of that. But I told, man, when the trenches, you're gonna need the Flying Scotsman. I like Zinchenko, but he's not a left back by nature. He can play there, but he's not a left back. Arteta said the man was converted from a 10. He still thinks like a 10. He's nothing like Tavares, and he's a bit more switched on, but he doesn't necessarily think like that. That's why sometimes he's getting caught in midfield. Sometimes he's getting caught up higher up the field. He's not stopping the cross. Sometimes the thing that was scaring me the most about Zinchenko is that you're meant to be goal side. He's the wrong side of people trying to get their header. But he did all right, man. But this is what we need, game management. Eddie's come on and done well. Tierney's played his part. Lokonga, I'm forcing it. There wasn't really any minutes. But on another day, El Nene might rise up and help us see out the game in that regard. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Morning to you, those of you commented at the start. Don't think I left you lot out, man. Big weekend, man. We're cooling. You know, you just hope Fulham. You just no. Who are Fulham playing? Fulham are definitely playing someone. You hope Fulham. Yeah, they're playing Liverpool. You hope Fulham, Brighton, Southampton. You hope they can all do their job, man. You hope they can all do their job. You know, so we can run some agenda. Southampton. You hope we can run some agendas in peace, man. You know, it's always nice to win. You know, we're gonna have days where it's not our time, where we haven't won, where we're in problems. But yeah, man, it is what it is. I might be ready for 11:30. You said 12. I'm live, bro. Calm down, bro. What the fuck? Sorry about that, people. Obviously, like I said, we're here earlier, Carl. Like, DJ have to step out. But yeah, man. Hey, Jay, don't piss me off. We already agreed the time. Don't man start seeing Gally and they want to forward early. Relax, bro. Relax, please. I know you're listening to my live stream because you just told me. Please relax. Cool off. Relax. No one's running anywhere. Relax. Please relax. I don't make me start bribing you. There's something there for you if you just chill off, broski. If man them leave me, cool. I'm just saying that if you, sorry, people, to go off topic. If you leave me today, of all days, I'm on to you lot. But back to this, people. Happy weekend in general, man. Big up DG. What I don't like when City barely beat 10 men Arsenal, Neville and bro, brother, Els, I'm not gonna lie to you. Pardon my language. Fuck Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, what they have to say, because they chat shit. Then they start breading. You know, Gary Neville talks nonsense. Then he couldn't stop sucking off pause Saliba. And then when Saliba gets ripped, he's gonna be the first one chatting shit. Forget them. The club, the fans, even the fans, the club just need to listen to themselves. We didn't have an amazing season last year, but if they listened at the start, what would have happened? If they listened to the hype when things were going well for us, what would have happened? The same people that gas you one day will criticize you the next day. Just keep that headspace. Don't get excited when you win. Don't get excited when you lose. Just keep going. There's always things we do well. There's always things we could do better. Simple as that, really and truly. Nah, just cool off. Just cool. I like the Rio. I like the Rio and Van Dijk and all of these comparisons. I love it. I like it, man. It's lit, but at the same time, cool off, man. Just cool off. Just let him do his thing. He's a 21-year-old. He's gonna do like you see with Rams. No excuses because we're old enough to learn now. You know, Ramsdale's an English international, as is Ben White. Gabriel plays for Brazil. Saliba's now a French international. And the same logic with my man's comment earlier about Saka and Martinelli being more clinical. We're old enough to learn. We're mature enough to learn. We're smart enough to learn. But it takes forever to get to a certain level. They're going to do dumb stuff. You know, Ramsdale is going to do stupid stuff. I'd say for me, concentration, and his near post are two things he could work on. You know, you saw it. He made up for it with the saves. You see it with Ben White. Spot on against Zaha. But, you know, sometimes, in Ramsdale, they all like to play football. He gets too excited. Gabriel, sometimes he's got that Hugo Lloris thing about him. Like, he just moves mad at times. Saliba's going to do that. Go and look at Saliba February last year for all good as he was at Marseille. You know, no one's perfect. Yeah, man. Zinchenko, the pace thing. I like him, man. We're top of the league, man. We're top of the league. Bro, you know how football set. They're gonna, bro. You know this agendaville. Fans are gonna want to cook him, man. We should want to cook other fans as well. Really, when people get savage, it is what it is, man. Like it really is. It really is what it is in that regards, man. So it is what it is in that regards, man. There's a lot of positives. Let's just not get excited, man. I don't like excitement. The only time I want to see excitement. Well, you know, let's keep it PG. The only time I want to see excitement is in May. Let's just work on getting to the end of the year in and amongst the top four, man. Game by game basis. I would like to see Zinchenko in midfield more when Tini is fully healthy. It's nice having cover at left back. Amen. William, the boy, was just superb. Big performance. Most of our issues were caused by that Anderson guy. Ridiculous pass range. Exactly. And they were one-trick ponies, bro. They were just knocking it into the channels. And between Saka, Saliba, and Ben White, that's what you want to see, communication. You know, it's not just one man that's going to contain someone like Zaha, the Zahas, the Salahs, pardon me, the Sons. You know, you go back to the game at White Hart Lane. If Holding and Cedric and whoever was centre mid on the right hand side in that game, if their communication was better, maybe they contained Son at that time. I like the Rio thoughts, bro. I like the young Rio and Van Dijk and all these things, but a lot of conclusions are being drawn off a bunch of pre-season games and one game in the Premier League. To the general footballing fans, we know Saliba's 30. You know, big up to you lot on this channel. We've been waffling about Saliba for how much years? We've been doing loan reports. We almost thought it was done for. We finally got out of it now, but just let the man develop. You know, we can't draw too many conclusions. It's a long season. Not the guys that are the heroes today might be the villains tomorrow. The villains in that game will be the heroes, really. You know, and this is why you need different options. Injuries, loss of form, suspensions are a thing. We need flexibility. And that's what I like with the Ben Whites, the Martinellis, the Jesuses, you know, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Fabio Vieira, 2 of the 3 weren't involved. You know, when players at Tomiyasu as well, when players are actually Zinchenko as well, sorry, when players are actually good, I don't mind them playing 1-2 positions. It's just historically, we've had meaty guys who can't even, that are right backs, and they can't even lock down right back, and we're putting them at left back and whatnot. What I did like as well with Zinchenko when Ben White is, as much as it's about defending, we wasn't killed going forward. And that's been a case with Tavares and Cedric, respectfully to both of them, you know, really. But yeah, man, it is what it is. I think our first attacker in Ramsdale looked good in the transition. I think our first defender, Jesus, it's not really a game to be gassing up from Gabriel Jesus, but I think he was litty as well in what he could bring to the table, man. So yeah, man.